Welcome to Mount Olive Pickle Company. Have you ever wondered what goes into making the perfect Mount Olive pickle? Well, here at the corner of cucumber and vine, our recipe for success is a mixture of ingredients: rich traditions, attention to quality, and a bit of fun. Mount Olive has been in business since 1926. We got our start at the turn of the last century, when a large produce market operated here in Mount Olive, North Carolina. A local entrepreneur saw opportunity in the bumper crops of cucumbers that were going to waste. His original idea for selling brined cucumbers to other pickle companies fell through, and he found himself in something of a, But a group of Mount Olive businessmen saw promise in a pickling operation. They reasoned a new market for area farmers would be good for the whole community. So, in January 1926, they established the Mount Olive Pickle Company, with 1 acre of land and less than $20,000 in capital. Old coffee pots were used to pour syrup into the jars. From that modest beginning, Mount Olive has grown to become the best-selling brand of pickles in the country, with distribution in all 50 states. Today, the perfect pickle packing process begins with the best quality cucumbers. Each year, we buy millions of pounds of fresh cucumbers and peppers in 10 states, as well as several foreign countries. About 1/3 of what we buy is grown right here in North Carolina. From the fields of these independent growers, the cucumbers are delivered to receiving stations, where they're inspected and graded for size and quality. The cucumbers are then delivered to Mount Olive by truck. Mount Olive receives its fresh cucumbers in a variety of ways: in plastic bins, in cardboard containers, in barrels, or in bulk. Bulk-loaded cucumbers are washed out of the truck with a powerful water hose. Mount Olive packs 2 basic types of pickles: processed and fresh pack. The cucumbers arriving at Mount Olive will either go into the plant for packing as fresh pack pickles, or they'll be placed in one of Mount Olive's 1,100 brine tanks to be fermented as processed pickles. Typically, the tanks are filled with cucumbers in the summer and emptied in the winter.
Our tank yard has approximately 1,100 tanks. They're about an 800 bushel equivalent, which is about 8,000 gallons in a tank. That equates to about 40 million pounds of cucumbers that we tank on our yard.
Filling up the tanks in the tank yard requires some heavy lifting.
It takes about 200 bushels to fill a big bin. We move that then to the tank, where we open the bin and all the cucumbers fall into the tank. It takes about 4 trips with a big bin to fill the tank. Once we fill the tank, we put a wooden headboard on top of the tank to keep the cucumbers submerged, and then our fermentation process begins.
Processed pickles include Mount Olive's relishes and salad cubes, sweet pickles, sour pickles, dill, and some kosher dill. Fresh pack pickles are fresh cucumbers that don't undergo a fermentation process in the tank yard. They're simply washed and placed into jars for packing. Fresh pack items include bread and butter pickles, kosher dill pickles, and peppers. You'll find the words "fresh pack" on the label of these products in your grocery store. When it's time for the cucumbers to be packed into jars, whether processed or fresh pack, the cucumbers first get a thorough washing. Once cleaned, the cucumbers move from the outside into the cutting department, where they're cut into chips, spears, sandwich stuffers, relish, salad cubes, or left whole. The cukes are blanched and sent to the packing department, ready to be put into jars. The empty jars arrive at Mount Olive on pallets. They're placed on the production line by machine. The jars are washed and inspected as they go into the packing room. We pack most of our products by machine, like this one, which shakes the pickles into the jars as they go by. Pickles that don't fall into the jars recirculate for more tries. Employees called toppers use rubber mallets to make sure the jars are full and ready to be capped. While most of our products are machine packed, some, like our spears and sandwich stuffers, are packed by hand. Our hand packers pack a jar of spears on average every 12 seconds. Once the cucumbers are in the jars, the pickle juice, or cover brine, is added. This gives the pickles their flavor. We make our pickle juice using these 400-gallon mixers. We start with the base ingredients, usually vinegar and water, and we test the levels of vinegar and salt on each batch prior to use. Then we carefully measure the flavorings and other ingredients and add it to the base. Once the jars have both pickles and juice, they're capped and vacuum sealed. Now that the jars are capped, they're pasteurized, a process that makes our pickles shelf stable. Inside these 100-foot-long pasteurizers, jars of pickles move through 10 different temperature zones. The pickles are heated to just the right temperature and then cooled very quickly. Depending on the size of the jars, this process takes about an hour. From the pasteurizer, the pickles go into the finished goods department, where labels are added, and a best if used by date and production code are printed on each jar. The production code indicates which day of the year the jar is packed and which production shift did the packing. Now that the jars are finished, they're prepared for shipping. We use cardboard trays instead of boxes to use less cardboard. Our tray packing machines handle the jars with care by building the trays around the jars. They also allow Mount Olive to pack different sizes of cases.
What this machine allows us to do is go from a 12-pack case to a 6-pack case to a 4-pack case, whatever fits the individual customer. We're very flexible with this machine.
The production code information is printed on each tray, and the trays are shrink-wrapped. A robotic palletizer automatically stacks the cases onto pallets, building one layer at a time. The cases are placed in specific patterns to ensure the pallets are stable. The pallets are then stretch-wrapped. Throughout the process, quality is vigorously maintained.
In quality control, we check each step of the manufacturing process to make sure that our products are consistent and that we maintain our quality standards. The testing that we do in the quality control lab is titratable acidity, salt, pH, and Bomb-A, which measures the sweetness.
The finished pallets go to one of our warehouses for storage until they're shipped from our distribution center.
We're the #1 brand of pickles, peppers, and relishes in the United States. And with that, our warehouse storage needs as well as our production capacity have grown. We have approximately 1 million square feet of warehouse storage space that allows us to store about 7 million cases. It's a lot of pickles.
Making the perfect Mount Olive pickle not only requires the best ingredients, it also requires the best people. We have over 600 employees year-round, and we hire another 350 seasonal workers in the busy summer months. We're proud of our diverse work group and the job they do. The pickle people at Mount Olive pack millions of jars of pickles, peppers, and relishes each year. And for us, safety is a big deal. As a result, Mount Olive is a Carolina Star site, which is the highest recognition the North Carolina Department of Labor gives for effective safety and health management. In addition, Mount Olive and its employees are environmentally responsible. The company runs an elaborate wastewater treatment system. We recycle everything from plastics to cardboard to glass, and we pay careful attention to how we use our resources, like water, to help protect our environment. But making the perfect pickle isn't all we do. Because of our roots, we believe it's important to make a stronger community, too. Our company partners with local schools, sponsors youth sports teams, and supports dozens of local programs and initiatives with both our money and our products. And we encourage our employees to be active in nonprofit and civic groups. We also like to have fun. We're a major sponsor of the award-winning North Carolina Pickle Festival, held every year here in Mount Olive on the last full weekend of April. It's a dilly of a festival, drawing thousands every year. Proceeds benefit community projects year-round. And finally, we invite you to join us here at the corner of Cucumber and Vine every New Year's Eve. We drop a glowing 3-foot pickle down our company flagpole into a perfectly preserved redwood pickle tank at the stroke of 7 o'clock midnight. In case you're wondering, when it's 7 o'clock in Mount Olive, it's actually midnight Greenwich Mean Time. We get started at 6 o'clock, and we encourage you to get here early. The whole thing's over at 7:05.
The secrets to our success are we focus on producing a quality product, we have a place where our employees enjoy coming to work, and we continue to nurture our hometown roots. We have not forgotten the values which brought us to where we are today.
We hope you've enjoyed this visual tour of the Mount Olive Pickle Company. To learn more about our company, please visit us on the web at mountolivepickles.com. And be sure to remember us on your next trip to the grocery store.